So let's talk about where we are in our betting. We made 35 sports bets in March with a record of 15 wins and 20 losses. We nearly always bet our standard $10 a unit bet, and unfortunately in March we lost 8 units or $80. Our bracket got completely blown out of the water initially from the jump. Most of our wagering came from college basketball, and obviously that's where most of our losses came from as well. If you can't tell, I'm going to be transitioning to heavily betting the Formula One races for the remainder of the season. Italy's coming up in 2 weeks, and I'm super pumped. We bet on fastest lap and outright winner of the first race of the F1 season, the Bahrain Grand Prix, and we won both.
Oh, hey. What's up, guys? Fancy seeing you here in this safe while I'm at work. We are here at one of my stores that cannot be named. While you're here, let me go ahead and give you a rundown on how the portfolio is doing. So we talked about bore drilling, and then I mentioned one that I was really into called AABB. That is tied to the Chinese cryptocurrency, like the Chinese Bitcoin. I was kind of skeptical about it. Whatever. Anyways, those two that I just mentioned, AABB and bore drilling, they work for us. We sold them both out at a profit, and I've re-bought back into them as of last Friday. Then this morning, I sold AABB again. That sounds so weird to say, AABB.
ABBAB. Always be berating and belittling.
Sold it again, made some money. Like, I think that bore drilling may be my new stock, just to work over and over every week. It might be something we see in my portfolio for the next couple months, but I can't talk much about it anymore. I've got to go back to work. When I get some free time this afternoon, I'll tell you some more great stuff that's going on.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? How's everybody doing? I am still here in Dallas. Doing some mitigation work. You can see this house behind me just had a huge flood. It's a really, really nice house too. They just in a really super cool neighborhood. They had just spent a ton of money on a remodel like a month ago. It had just finished, and then Dallas got the freeze event, and it was open season. The poor man had like 7 pinhole leaks, I think it was, and yeah, his house just got crushed. We're tearing out the sheetrock in here, and we're also tearing out cabinets. That's called a tie-in. They can rock right up to it. They'll put some blocking right here. Actually, they can cut it out a little bit because there's a stud. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? So the sundial trade did not work out. Sundial growers, yeah, SNDL. We bought 2 contracts, so we paid $105 for each contract, $210. Lost it all. Poof, gone. Threw an order out there. I think I was trying to sell them for like $5, but couldn't find a buyer. Chalking it up to a learning experience. We still have our GameStop options on the trade right on the floor right now. They're looking not that great. I mean, I've lost over $150 in this endeavor. Hit a home run on my first trade, and the last few have just been blah, blah, blah.
It's Sunday again, which is the big tournament day, of course, in online poker world. So we're gonna get out there, we're gonna win some money. Today, what we're gonna focus on is bluffing. We have not been bluffing enough. I can't quantify why I think that, but I just think that. I feel like there are spots we're letting get by where we could have taken a hold of the hand and stolen it away, but we decided not to for one reason or another. So today we're gonna bluff more. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna capture each of those bluffs and bluff attempts, we'll call them, and we'll take a look at them together and see if they make any sense. So we're gonna win today, we're gonna play a bunch of tournaments, but we're also gonna be big bluffers. Let's see what happens. It is several hours later. We are on one of the many breaks. It is about 8 p.m., so we've been at it for 5 or 6 hours now. We played a bunch of different tournaments. We got into another situation. Again, we were at the final table of one of these satellite tournaments where we needed to make the top 6 in order to win a ticket into a bigger, better tournament. We ended up in 7th or 8th or something terrible like that. Third time that's happened now in the last 3 weeks, but we're not staying down about it. We are deep in a tournament here, 121 people left. We're in 8th place. This tournament will probably end about 10 o'clock at night, which is not ideal because I gotta work in the morning, but sometimes you have to sacrifice for the side hustle.
Meth. There's a lot of meth in this part of the world. I have a question for you guys. I am very interested in F1. While I love sports betting and it really gives me the fix of my degenerate behavior that I truly crave, I found recently that I can't take my eyes off of F1. If you guys haven't watched it, go take a look and leave a comment if you like it. I'm truly obsessed.
The hype is there, the hope.
We are here in Atlanta, currently waiting on our appointment to start. Due to COVID restrictions, we're waiting outside. So back to what I was saying when I was at the airport earlier, and please forgive the jittery camera. What are your feelings about F1? Do you guys like to bet on it? Does it keep you engaged the way it does me? Leave me a comment, I'll be sure to respond. I'd love to get your guys' insights on that.
2 hours later.
It's called a gimbal. We made it. I'm gonna leave the car running because I've got more work to do. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about some of those previous positions we discussed. First things first, you might be wondering why I'm a little sunburned. That's because I've been building a garden. I told you guys about Boar and AABB, those really showing out for me. Maptelligent was another one, and Romeo was another one I talked about in previous episode. Those just, I was sitting there hanging in for a long time holding these and not really getting the juice I wanted from them, so to speak. So to take, that coin term from Jayme, the juice, I love that. The juice just wasn't worth the squeeze on those two. So I'm gonna stay away from them for a minute, but then the account is up. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time now. It's been just like a roller coaster for me. Like, God, one day I just wanna throw my computer, my phone, everything into the lake, just smash it, because it's so hard. But then, I'm on a high right now. I didn't think I was gonna come back. I was like, this is terrible. I'm just going down, 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 almost broke past the $700 mark, like going down, got into the 600s. We're back up, 900 plus. We built back up. It's game one. I found some stuff I like. This is gonna be great.
What's up, y'all? How's you guys doing? Still out in Dallas, mitigating. Okay, so I was pondering the success or lack thereof of my recent trades. We talked about the GameStop hype, we talked about the cannabis stocks hype, and none of that worked. Cue Price is Right losing music. So what we're gonna do is go back to basics. We are going to go right back to those covered calls and those covered puts that we started, that we had a lot of success with, successful-ish with at the beginning of the YouTube show. So I'm going to not only do that same strategy, I'm going to jump back in with those exact same companies and those exact same trades. CBAT. I'm going to sell the 250 calls. Damn it, I already messed it up. CBAT. I'm going to CBAT. I'm going to sell the 250 puts, and I'm going to collect a premium of 14 bucks. I think the math works out to be something around like 5%. Not very sexy, and we could certainly do better. But while I'm out here in Dallas mitigating and my focus just can't be really with the markets and putting a ton of energy into it, then I just need to make sure I'm putting winning trades on the board, because these other trades are not winners. So that's what we're gonna do in CBAT. We're also gonna go right back to iBio. The price of iBio right now is $1.72 a share. So we're gonna buy 100 shares of that, and we're gonna sell a call at 250. Right now, the 250 calls are going for $25 or $35. I need to double check, but that's what we're gonna do. And I have extreme confidence that those trades are gonna be winners and successful-ish.
Alright, so it is like 10:15 at night. We just finished up playing a whole bunch of hours. We ended up getting 17th in that tournament. There were like 1,000 people that started in it. We made like $40 or something. Again, we're knocking on the door and not getting there. Fairly disappointing after such a long day of grinding, but again, we keep getting close. It's gonna happen, but not tonight. As mentioned earlier, we're going to try to fire some big bluffs tonight, so here is an opportunity to fire a bluff with pocket nines on a relatively dry board that I don't take at all. I just check for value because I'm a weak human being. I accidentally end up winning. Here's another one with pocket nines where we get involved out of position. We don't 3-bet pre-flop like we should. We check here on Jack 7-7, and instead of raising to try to move this guy off his hand and bluff him, we take the weak passive route and call. Of course, he makes a king on the turn. We're a sucker, so we check and then call a big bet and lose naturally. And then finally here, we finally do take a shot at this pot with a big bluff with our missed flush draw and straight draw and get picked off immediately by a king. So great stuff.
Oh, I missed it. We gotta circle around. We're back at one of my favorite places in town to hang out and get outside. And before I get to walking around and looking at the lake and stuff, I wanted to talk a little bit about March Madness and how our bets have been going. And in case you guys are wondering, they're going awful, per typical standard for us at this point. Up and down, as we've learned, is really normal in sports betting. So anyways, let's take a look at these bets. One of the first ones we made was the San Diego State money line, which we lost. We also did Winthrop plus 6.5, which we lost. West Virginia minus 13, which we won. And finally, the last bet that we made and lost was Syracuse minus 138.5. But it's completely okay. Like we said, you win some and lose some in sports betting, and we are definitely on a chilling streak right now. Anyways, that led us to go ahead and start turning our attention to F1. And per the usual, Lewis Hamilton pulled out the win last week. We won both of our bets today. Very exciting. Good job, gentlemen.
And so now I'm even more sunburned. So just got through with my tractor job over here. That's gonna be beautiful. A fairly high percentage that I just let it look like that for the next 2 years. I don't know. But anyways, back to channel stuff. God, I say the name so much. Board drilling. I'm not gonna say any more for that. I've told you about the ones I like, the ones I made money with, that one in particular. That's what we're doing. We're sticking with that, and we're gonna ride this thing out. I'm already gaining them. I was in dead last. I think Chris or Jayme may be winning right now. I don't know. I'll have to see what the scores are. I think those two stocks, AABB, BRR, those have the potential to take me back in. That's what they say that's what they say you should do with swing trading anyways, is find a few stocks, couple stocks, maybe one stock that you get to know really well and kind of identify its patterns. You know, like, you got it figured out. Come here, Kilo. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, please. Just like it, subscribe, and share it. Come here. Hey, yeah, throw it. Damn, I can't do anything.
It is snowing in here because that was all blowing in insulation. Look at this pile. Dude, look what this camera's picking up. If anybody out there has any feedback, I would love a comment. I would absolutely love some trade ideas too that I can take a look at that are going to be within my bankroll. We're putting a lot out there right now with the bankroll that we have, and we're kind of locked up until expiration because we lock up the cash when we do that. On the puts, we lock up cash. On calls, we have a little bit more freedom to do it. But yes, I'd love a comment. Please make sure you like the channel, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. That would absolutely help us all out. So we appreciate it.
Go ahead, put the tally down. I got 1-2 combos on me, moving like I'm Pacquiao. Pull up in a foreign with her foreign bitches freaking out. Got them pulling phones out when they see me hopping out. Fly around, Cali bound. I don't do relationships cause I know they can't hold me down. Making moves in Louis V, I step around the tan and brown. Keep my head above the rim, I'm ballin' like